Today we are painting a horse portrait using gouache. I don't use gouache very often, my media of choice is usually watercolor and very recently acrylics. I'm considering starting using oils too, if I figured out the whole solvent-free versus water-mixable ones. If you've tried them both, I'd love to hear your opinions on them. Like, for example, do they feel and look the same to you? Anyway, for those of you that are not familiar with gouache, gouache is a water-based paint, very similar to watercolor, as it is composed in the same way of natural pigments mixed with gamma arabic, that is a natural binder. However, while watercolor is transparent, gouache paint is opaque, thanks for the fact that its particles are larger and more compressed together. The ratio of pigments to binder is higher, and some paint add white chalk to additionally reduce transparency. You can find around something called acrylic gouache that is a completely different thing. It is basically acrylic paint, so polymer based and not natural, with a matte additive to give it a matte final appearance similar to gouache rather than glossy. Gouache is a water-based medium as it uses water as a solvent or thinner. So like watercolor, you only need to paint and water and you are good to go. As well as adding solvent to oil paints, make the paint more transparent, the same happens with gouache the more water we add to the mix. If you want thick opaque paint, you should use little to no water, so when you rinse your brush in your water cup passing between different colors, don't forget to dry your brush well. Whether you're using gouache more like watercolor or like oils is completely up to you. It has some of the qualities of both. Personally, I like to use gouache more like I would use acrylics or eventually oils, as in using the least amount of water possible and going full opaque. But why using gouache? Painting in gouache is a great alternative to oil or acrylics, especially if you are traveling or for sketching, as it better suits smaller surfaces like sketchbooks or pads. It cleans very easily with water, it dries up very quickly, and you just need a couple brushes, a sketchbook, obviously the paint, and a water cup to get started. We are painting a horse portrait using the Hugo Pochade box. I'm not sponsored or anything, and also I did purchase it myself, so I'm definitely not biased. But I really like this little thing. It has a very modern and clean looking design, and it's very practical to use. I have a video review on it on my channel, link in the description, and I'd love to try out their glass palette if I'll start using oils. Of course I won't get offended if they decided to send one over after viewing this video. As if. Anyway, I also have a video on sketching horses in watercolor on my Patreon, and I will be also adding the full video of this gouache painting without cuts. If you want to learn more and also support me, check it out, it's really appreciated. As I previously said, I don't use gouache as often as I'd like, but I really believe in the importance of switching mediums every now and then. Each medium has its own strengths and weaknesses, and comes with its own challenges too. Because different types of paints behave differently one another, using them will end up giving you slightly different results. We can call these differences from your usual painting method imperfections, as it is how you'll most likely see them anyway. But every now and then, in these imperfections, you'll be surprised to find some gems, some of which you'll probably want to try and recreate or incorporate in your usual style with your favorite medium. Or why not? Maybe decide to mix media all together to get the best of both worlds. That's, of course, completely up to you. Painting with different media is like flipping your canvas during your painting sessions. It's useful to give you a new and different point of view, see not your painting but your approach to painting with fresh eyes. I hope after this video you will try and come back to tell me how the whole experience was. And I think I like to do, and I believe it helps with finding your style and confidence in painting, is to avoid to do an underdrawing. Just starting applying paint directly to the surface of choice and measure and place adjacent elements as you go. Painting this way gives you a sense of freedom that you can't have when limited by the constraints and borders of your drawing. It is very important to try and build the habit of doing small sketches or even small full paintings or drawings weekly or daily. But it is also very important to every now and then practice on drawing something you are not quite familiar or struggle with. Maybe this next video might be of your liking too. Thanks for watching.